Hi, everybody. It's been a long day, so just got done with my job, my shift today. And I really wasn't anything to touch base on today, honestly. Everything that is going on, I kind of talked to Mike about last night. If you haven't seen it, I did a podcast with him. Um, you can find with Mike the Rational Boomer. You can find it on YouTube and Spotify. Look it up. It's discussing some of the most weird, heinous crap in the world. But I want to bring up something that just really, to be blunt, chaps my ass. And this is this weird ass obsession of sports talk show host becoming right wing activist. And the first one I want to talk, and this is just in lieu of everything that's going on with the Epstein files and Trump. Okay. The first one is Pat McAfee. Now, Pat McAfee is a former NFL player kicker who got his start doing his own shtick about sports talk. It's weird. It's one of those bro shows. They smoke cigars. They talk all manly stuff, right? Um, but Pat McAfee kind of started to get involved in stuff when he had Aaron Rodgers on the show, which is fine. Aaron Rodgers is a football player, but also Aaron Rodgers is an anti-vaxxer. Aaron Rodgers is really a weird cat. Um, and a lot of the stuff they discuss would be about those type of things, especially during COVID. So, okay. Occasionally his takes are all right, as long as you stick with sports. And I'm not going to say, and I say this because sometimes politics and sports drift onto one another. But I'm not, that does not exclude you from making a comment on stuff. Where I cross the line is that when you bring politics into sports, period. Okay? And that's what Pat McAfee did the other day when he had Donald Trump in for an interview. Okay, it was everything you thought it would be. It's mostly about talking about him getting his name on the new Commander Stadium because, well, yeah, because he wants it. It was a bunch of bullshit. But he made a choice, okay? He made a choice to have Trump on there. And whenever you have Trump anywhere, he taints everything, okay? This is not like having a discussion with Barack Obama about basketball because he's just going to talk about it, about basketball as a fan. Trump's going to talk about it as if he's there and he made the thing happen. So it was what it was. Okay, I didn't watch the show. I won't watch the show. Haven't watched the show. Don't want to. Because his macho style always bugs me. It always does. And I've been avoiding sports talk radio for a long time because, unfortunately, those guys who comment on people doing things kind of start to upset me because they forget they can't do the things that most people can do in sports. And they become judgmental. And then they kind of get weird. They become political. And a lot of them just jump the shark totally. Um, Case in point now, um, Stephen A. Smith. I never got his shtick either. He's always a screamer, yeller, trying to be New York, trying to do this. I never got his takes. Okay, if it wasn't for him and that other fake man that's no longer with us, bear with me, my thing's acting up. Um, they wouldn't have anything. First take is crap. Okay, it's just people screaming, no one having any kind of take a relationship. They don't break anything down. They just scream. But now Stephen A. Smith decides, you know what? As I'm getting older and all my partners have been run out of sports talk, let me start talking about politics because nothing says that I could talk about politics than a guy who spent decades just talking about sports. Okay? Now, understand, I don't consider myself a political expert. I just have an opinion. But I try to stay straightforward and try to keep my hypocrisy to a limited thing. So maybe I'm speaking out of turn. But Stephen A. Smith came up talking about the Epstein files. And this man went fucking MAGA. And he went right to the Democrats had it. Why didn't they get them out? Why didn't they release the Epstein files? They had them for years. Again, for those people who can look up Google, Stephen, and seem to be smart and college educated, which you seem to be, Stephen, they were still in the midst of prosecution of that. Ghislaine Maxwell was still appealing her sentence for sex trafficking, so they couldn't release anything from a legal standpoint because that would have tainted everything. Now, could they release some other stuff afterwards? Yes. But again, a lot of this was Merrick Garland's doing, so understand. But that was not on the Democrats, okay? In fact, everything was fine until Trump brought all this up and the Republicans brought it all up because they thought that the Epstein files was nothing but names of Democrats. And that's why he keeps bringing it up. Why didn't they bring it up? Who are they trying to hide? Don't give a fuck. If it's Bill Clinton, anyone, you're going to pay the price for that bullshit, okay? Like, you should pay the price for saying stupid shit like this, Stephen. What you're saying is just matching the right-wing line because you know you can't talk about politics outside of that because no one will love you. You can't take a real stand about what's going on for racism or ICE or anything like that because people won't like you and you won't get views. And the only way you get views is if you go MAGA. It's true. That's the way they do it. That's why they become that. And a lot of them really believe it. A lot of them are a bunch of hateful assholes. So, again, have your opinions. But understand we're going to call you out on, especially someone like you, Stephen. Because even your sports takes suck. They're always tinted and tainted with a lot of racist stuff. Because I will never forget when you said that Shohei Ohtani is not the best baseball player because he's Japanese. He should have been an American player. It can't go to a Japanese player. Yes, motherfucker, you said it, and I've never forgotten it. That and when you jumped on Andy Ruiz, who he won the heavyweight title, first Mexican, yeah, it was one shot and he won it. But you said he wasn't a good representative because he was fat. But also, you just went after all Mexican fighters anyway. Yeah, motherfucker, we remember. So everything that rolls out of your pie hole is tainted because you're a narcissistic man who only does this for himself. So, enough of that, okay? All right, you guys have a good rest of the night. Didn't mean for this to go long. I'll talk to you later, and I'll give you my Sunday warning about the games tomorrow, about all the news shows tomorrow. Be safe.